This is the fourth section of the Memes, Gifs, and Emojis series, and we're going to talk about getting excited about digital communication. So we're going to start with some reasons to get excited about the power of digital communication. So there's many things that, are kind of low-hanging fruit and things that we can probably pick out just by talking about digital communication in general. But when we talk about digital communication in an educational context and talk about, the real power behind that and why we should be excited about it, there are some key points to take into consideration. So the increased access to both learning materials as well as the communication between instructor and student. A student can reach out to a teacher with ease and vice versa, as well as students are able and teacher are able to access more and more resources with ease using digital communication. There's more flexibility in time and place, so teachers and students can communicate as needed and don't have to rely solely on the classroom for that communication. There's also the more ability for transparency. So by using things like announcements and posting things digitally, you're really creating transparency in your messaging. So by not delivering a message to just a handful of students or to just the classroom, by posting it somewhere where everyone can see, you're really creating this transparent and open environment for both students as well as sometimes parents. Maybe you're posting it on a website and it's information that they're going to find helpful and interesting as well. There's also more equity and engagement. So I think one thing that has become pretty clear over the past year is that some of the more quiet students in the classroom tend to engage more actively digitally. It removes some of those, barriers such as social anxiety and, time and place and all of those kinds of things. And so by allowing that digital communication, we're really truly offering a more equitable engagement opportunity for all of the students, as well as transformative possibilities. So if you're using digital communication, then there really are an endless amount of possibilities for how students can communicate with each other, how you can communicate with students, instead of being confined by the limitations of the classroom and time and place. Then you really have more ability to transform the type of communication and the ways that you're communicating, both student to student and teacher to student. And then the real golden star is just this idea that differentiation is a very complex thing to try to achieve for an entire classroom. And so by having digital communication and digital methods for interacting with your students, you really are providing more opportunity for differentiation for each student because they're able to dig in where it seems more applicable to them, as well as to communicate with you about how their experience is going and what could make it better. Now, if we talk about how to harness the power of digital communication, you'll see that I've got, a water wheel here. So we've got harnessing that power, and we've got our emojis, memes, and gifs in the river. So it's our memes, gifs, emojis river, and we're harnessing the power of all of that to try to really create some transformative learning experiences. So we can use memes, gifs, and emojis to reinforce concepts, to increase visual representation, to demonstrate processes, and always to bring on the fun. Memes, gifs, and emojis are fun and silly, and they will pretty much always put a smile on just about anybody's face. So always remembering that just by including them for the simple reason of fun, you really are harnessing that power of the digital communication. So definitely consider adding memes, gifs, and emojis to your teaching toolbox and using them when you're engaging in digital communication. Some examples, so you can reinforce concepts with humor. So anything that can be hard to remember, whether it's grammar rules, math formulas, science, or even just classroom protocols, they can all be aided by just a little bit of humor. So for instance, we have the Batman meme over here. Every time you use your for your, you are, you make Batman cry. This is a funny little thing, but it also helps to emphasize the difference between your and you are. So using things, memes and GIFs to reinforce concepts with humor is very similar to the strategies of using mnemonic devices. So whether it's rhymes, acronyms, or letter or word association, all of those types of strategies, this is a very similar type of strategy. So including this can be fun. You could also have students create these, so they're making their own mnemonic devices that will really stick with them and resonate with them more. And then using concepts, and then using visual representation to emphasize things like concept or vocabulary. So if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then what is a meme or a GIF worth is the real question. So you'll see on the left we have, a Spanish phrase and then the English translation of it, as well as the meme that represents what it actually means. So to be sleepy, and you see that is a very sleepy GIF, and then a sleepy meme. And then on the right we have a GIF that demonstrates the different angles associated with different shapes and how those relate to one another. And so we can really use that visual representation, harness that to emphasize concepts and to help students, have a little bit of fun as they're trying to navigate these new things. And this concludes section 4 of our Memes, Gifs, and Emoji series. In the next section, we'll be talking a little bit about resources as well as providing some real-life classroom examples of how memes, gifs, and emojis are used.